What up? What up? What up? YouTube. Been a minute since I've jumped on and done one of these lives. Just thought I'd come kick it for just a little bit and do a little. Got a package that I'm going to open up and just talk a little bit about things, and stuff. I hope everyone is doing really well out there. I hope everyone had a fantastic, amazing holidays. Um, yeah, things were really good through the holidays here. For kids had an amazing Christmas and all that, fun New Year's. Been good. Most people have reached out. I've thought some of my stuff I've said or posted or comments or something were a little odd. Everything's fine. I'm okay. There's been some stuff going on on the home front here. Sometimes things aren't always easy in life, and there's trials and tribulations, and we have to just persevere, right? But I'm totally fine. Things have actually aren't bad. Been adjusting to this new job and company that I've been working for. It's been a little different than I thought it would be, but overall, when you put it on the scales and balance things, it's the positives outweigh the negatives. So no complaints there. I mean, and even if you do complain, it's like nobody gives a crap anyway, so why even bother? But yeah, guys, see if anybody jumps on in here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, got a box to open up. We got NAMM coming up. Gonna talk about some of my thoughts on predictions and gear and NAMM in general. And just some other things to discuss. So if anybody is on and can let me know that the volume and the stream is all good, just a thumbs up or anything just to let me know things are all right. So yeah, it's been an interesting time over this last month. I think it's been about a month, maybe even a little longer since I popped in for a live stream. I think I am streaming. Yes, I should be on. It says that I'm live. Okay, I know it's Saturday, 8 o'clock here on the west coast of the United States in the high deserts of Nevada. We've had some snow lately. This new gig I have, I've been driving out to the job site in my own vehicle. Normally, my previous thing, I had a company truck that I would drive on these roads with. And it was super sketchy the other day. Super sketchy. Almost got into a horrible accident. Icy roads. People don't know how to drive or forgot. I don't know. Somebody was on the ice, started sliding around, going about 50, 60 miles an hour in front of me, and was maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 feet ahead of me. I was given a little bit of distance there, and they started kind of fishtailing a little bit, and instead of doing what you're supposed to do and slowing down, you turn the way that your back end's going to, as you slow down carefully. They just hit the brakes hard and just full 360 I'm talking on the highway. It was super sketchy. I luckily slowed it down just enough to just barely bypass them. This is at 5 o'clock in the morning on the way to work too. I mean, and the roads were bad. Don't get me. It was really, really bad. Just sheets of ice. Really, really gnarly. But yeah, sketchy. My heart was pounding. Oh, sorry, I was making sure things were good on the phone stream. Conductive, what up, dude? Thanks for jumping on in. just yeah, a little impromptu stream. That I'd come in. I'm going to open a box. I got something new, um, new to me that I'm really hyped about. I'm gonna open that guy up, and just talk about why is that going off like that? All right, I can see the chat on the big screen. I was having issues seeing the chat on the monitor, but we're good. So yeah, super sketchy. I thought I was gonna die for a minute. That'll wake your ass up in the morning. But yeah, we've been getting. I'm sure a lot of people are getting a lot of snow and stuff. But normally we get a ton more here, and these last few years, last 2 winters at least, we haven't really had much at all up until recently. So, but yeah, wanted to talk about NAMM coming up, and just my thoughts on what NAMM is now, what it represents, what it used to be, to what it is now. Talk about some gear. I was working on something here on the desk that I'm gonna want to maybe tomorrow pop in when I get it down with do a little jam with a little guy that just do a little display of the Strymon Oliveira, the vintage oil can Echo. I really like this thing, super cool. I was trying out a couple different synths and deciding what I was going to pop in maybe with the live and just do a little demo of some of the sounds of it. Really nice little reverb. I like this thing a lot, actually. And haven't popped in. I still want to do something with Lost and Found. I think some pedal demos might be here. Not necessarily demos, but or like, just a little, yeah, demonstration of using it. Yeah, so I guess a demo, whatever. But yeah, so how's everyone doing out there? Is things good? Everybody have good holidays? I've been trying to jump into live streams of those that I can when time is available. A lot of times I can just pop in briefly because of work and everything, and I try and at least show some support. I saw Crazy Wabbit did one this morning, and I just barely missed, which is cool. Watch the Crazy Wabbit's video on. He's going to be joining in, doing some, and I believe the Kumite, which is awesome. That was inspiring to see. I know it's exciting to me to think of the Crazy Wabbit actually making some songs, because he's always been so adamant against really doing that. So much respect to you, Mr. Wabbit. Yeah, and then the Symptoms of Reality stream earlier was super cool. I dug that. If anybody doesn't follow the Crazy Wabbit or Symptoms of Reality, please go and check out those channels and subscribe. Good stuff. Since Samurai was on, I briefly was able to, I think, get on towards the end of that one. But yeah, things. I've been posting up little miniature micro jams, little 1 minute to 2 minute ish little jams. Some of them are older stuff. I have archived probably hundreds and hundreds of live jams, and I'm just taking little excerpts from some of them from the last like 4 years, 3-4 years, and been going through some of those and just taking little blurb sections, micro jam ones, and just posting them up, kind of just to archive them, put them in my playlist of live jams. And it's been something to just keep, some stuff on the channel, as I haven't been very active on the channel. But yeah, I don't have, I know, like I said, like some people have reached out and thought something was really wrong or something, and nothing is really wrong. There has been some really upsetting things lately. I had some loss of some good people that I'm very very sad and bummed about to lose, and just some other personal stuff going on that didn't really have me motivated to get online or to to want to get on and talk on on here, and I just didn't feel like I had a lot to say. But I'm personally okay. Everything's fine. So I hope I appreciate everybody who sent messages or comments and all the different things. I've been trying to stay mostly off of social media in general. I once in a while will get on like some of the basic ones that I have family on, just share pictures with my kids and stuff. But I try not to engage in social media at all for the most part. I know a lot of people are always saying jump in their Discords and stuff, and I got on Discord for a minute, and I don't know, it was just more social media to me, and like I know there's some cool things going on. A lot of people have like really cool stuff going on their Discords, and maybe at some point I will get more involved with stuff like that. I'm gonna post or put on my Trader of the Living page. If people really want to get a hold of me or reach out to me, you can go to trader2theliving@gmail.com, and that is the email for this channel. And for Trader to the Living, you can anything you want to reach out to me about or anything, that is the way to get a hold of me. I'll try and get that. I have to go onto the computer to do it, to link it or put it on my actual page. But yeah, trader2theliving@gmail.com if there's anything, because some people have expressed that they didn't know how to reach me or whatever. So, but yeah, again, gonna be doing something probably tomorrow with the Oliveira. Deciding what I was using, the Digitone 1, the Microfreak. I've been using the Microfreak and the Model Cycles a lot lately. I've just always liked that duo of it's just fun for Sketchpad. I come up with something with those two, and then kind of transfer on to other things, But I do have the GR Mega and the Toneverk are set up with the Octatrack as the main things I'm using for 2026. And those are going to be my main, main tools, the weapons of choice going forward for this year as I work on finishing this album. I still have a few. I want to do at least 5 or 6 more tracks to put on this album that I want to put out this year. And the Toneverk and the GR Mega, with the Octatrack as my performance mixer for both of those, is beast mode. Just absolutely the best of all worlds. The most insane setup that I've ever imagined in my head back in the day of capabilities. And so yeah, that's probably going to be my main focus, as well as I am going to be using the Voltage Lab 2 in there too. I might bring that over and have those 3, the Voltage Lab 2, Toneverk, GR Mega, with Linstrument and a little MIDI controller for Toneverk. Or I might come off of, might just use the touch strip keyboard sequencer on the Voltage Lab. But also just, the Toneverk you don't necessarily need to plug a keyboard into, but it could be cool at some points, especially since it's polyphonic, to use it in that form and fashion. Tactical MIDI, what up, dude? Welcome aboard. I have writer's block for the moment. I understand. Yes, it happens, man. Just roll through it. Writer's block, it can come from a lot of different places and reasons. For me, it's not. I haven't had so much writer's block for music as just like a lack of motivation to want to socialize or be like on YouTube talking and stuff. But I understand, man. You'll get through that. You get through your writer's block, and you'll be busting some stuff out. I don't know if you're doing that that Kumite thing with the rest of the guys, but maybe that'll give you some inspiration. Sometimes you just need a fire lit under you, and then once you get into it, one of the best ways that I find when I have writer's block or just feel like I'm not doing anything is to just come in, fire up the machines, turn them on, and just start messing around. And then a lot of times when I do that, something will come from it, and I'll like, get inspired and then be able to create something. This world needs a hero. What up, dude? Good to see you, man. Then talk about a productive guy there. Yeah, Hero's been really doing it. Always streaming and busting out stuff. Mad respect, Hero, killing it. Loving that NPC Live 3, huh? Making jams, Ableton ones and stuff. Like, yeah. Everyone go subscribe to Tactical MIDI, M Conductive. This world needs a hero. The dudes. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot with that setup has been like the main thing, and I'm not making videos on it yet because implementing these new pieces of gear together and getting a solid workflow on it, it will come. I will start making videos on it, but I've put Lost and Found, and like I have a little effects chain now with it, with the echolocator, Lost and Found, and I will be using the Oliveira for the GR Mega, the Tonewerk, the Octatrack. But yeah, using them together, it's the amount of power, it's just absolutely mind-boggling insane. So anyway, that's coming up in the future. There will be live streams and content and probably music videos and upcoming stuff, and definitely featured on the album I'm working on, which it will be coming out this year. I am finally going to I am trying to make it happen, because I said I was going to do it by the end of last year, and I didn't. A lot of stuff happened though over this last year, so I'm trying not to be too hard on myself about it. But yeah, I'm currently practicing is all I can do. Yeah, man, practice is what's up. I've actually been practicing a lot of straight up piano. Like we have an organ out there in my other area, and my daughter plays a lot, but I've been playing on that a lot. I posted a couple videos of it, my old Lowry organ that were around the holidays. But I've been playing that. But that brings me to I'm gonna do an unboxing, guys. I got something that now I have wanted this for a long time, and there were multiple times. That's a big box, huh? It's a big old box. Whoops! Look how big that box is. What do you guys think's in there? If you know, don't ruin it, because I think I did mention it on someone's stream a little while ago. But yeah, I wanted this thing for a really, really long time, and there was a couple times I was actually gonna buy it. I was like, I'm down. I looked it up, and it wasn't available. It was like, I thought it was discontinued for a while, and then it was on pre-order, and I had a thing on Sweetwater to alert me when it came in, and I never got it, and then I would forget about it for a while, and like I totally would just like, it would slip my mind that like I wanted it, Milwaukee knife. You guys gotta have a Milwaukee knife. I'm all red with the Milwaukee. I keep going that way. The camera seems, but yeah, the Milwaukee knife. I use this thing every single day as an electrician. It's actually, no matter what, on my days off, I just always have it with me. It's kind of like my Linus's safety blanket or whatever. All right, here we go, guys. You ready? Anybody's got any guesses? Any? All right. So yeah, I've wanted this forever, and it's finally here. Hey, whoa! Those bastards. Oh, there it is. There's my candy. Sweetwater candy. All right, guys. So what we got here? Oh, I didn't leave much in there. There we go. Ready? Dun 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 dun. The Yamaha CP, the Reface CP. Stoked, guys. Super stoked. These have been out forever, and like I said, I've wanted it for probably like 9 years. I was looking at it. And then the few times I wanted, I was going to buy it. I was like, I'm down. I'm going to do it. They weren't available. And then somebody told me that they were gone, that Yamaha was going to drop them. And watch, I just got this, and they're going to be released like some new version that's like a full-size Rhodes. But basically what this is like, yeah, you get like So it's a mobile mini keyboard. It does have mini keys, but I'm not worried about that at all because I'm just gonna. Oh, you can't see it over here. Let's see if I go this way. Yeah, I'm just gonna MIDI it up to either the Muse or the Quantum to have a full size keyboard. I'll just MIDI it and then no big deal. So the little keys don't bother me at all. But it's kind of cool that it's got batteries and you can take it. It's got speakers built in. But built into this thing, we have mobile mini keyboard, mini clavier, portable, mini teclado portable. So it's got what I forget all of the stuff it's got on it. I know it's got a vintage EP sound, vintage effects, HQ mini keys, internal speakers, and battery operation. So you get a Wurlitzer, you get a Rhodes One Mark One, you get a Rhodes Mark Two, a toy piano, and a CP, the Yamaha CP, and Civ. I forget what Civ is. And there is a secret setting on this thing also, where if you set it between settings and then when it's off and then turn it on in between settings, it actually gives you an acoustic piano, which is super cool. And I don't know if you guys know much about these things, but this is like the most realistic sounding Rhodes that you could ever buy in the digital realm. Now let's open the actual box, right? So I'm pretty hyped because for years, I mean, I'm talking decades, I have dreamed of owning a Rhodes. I've just always loved the sound of a Rhodes electric piano. Just absolutely beautiful. The sound of the 70s, music that I totally dig. Many bands and many of the greatest musicians that I think are dope, Rhodes. But they're prohibitively expensive. It's like getting a mini Moog or something, right? It's something that it just was. It's not that I couldn't have saved up and got one, but it just seemed to be excessive. Like I'm not that great of a piano player for one, so it's hard to justify spending thousands and thousands of dollars on an electric piano. Now I am getting better at piano. I've been practicing a lot of piano. That's what I was talking about earlier. Taking lessons online as well as just at home with books, trying to improve my skills as a better keys player. And I really wanted to practice with, and I do have the ones in the VSTs in the computer, and some of those are pretty good. The Arturia collection one is decent, but sometimes I don't want to be on my computer. Sometimes I just want to turn on a keyboard and jam without having to go turn everything, get the whole studio fired up. I just want to have one thing. So this is going to be perfect. Let me open it up and let's take a look. And I know a lot of people that have these. It's been, like I said, like Noir's got one. Jorb did a video years back that really sold me on it. Old Jorb. He loves his gear, and I love my gear. All right, we got a little interesting little double MIDI. Those are MIDI cables, huh? It's a little, I've never seen that. Oh, it's in and out from one. I see. Huh, I don't have any gear that has that. So it's just got one like small MIDI jack and then it comes with this adapter. No big deal. That's cool. All right, got the instruction book taped down. Worry about that later. I don't think the instructions are going to be too hard to understand on this thing. The power supply. Oh, man. Hey, what up, probes? Welcome to the show. Just doing a little unboxing. Got myself a little. Now, when this came up, I was looking. It popped up on Sweetwater on sale, and I was like, "Sweet, perfect timing." Because I didn't really get anything through the holidays or anything for the studio or anything other than a shit ton of cables. I mean, a shit ton of cables, guys. Like. I think I got almost 76 cables, and that's not even including the groups of. I got a ton more patch cables for the modular, a shit ton more banana cables for the test equipment. So like when I say 76, some of those are in groups of 10 and stuff. Like I mean like a total like Stream is choppy? Oh no. Like the audio or the video, both? That's not good. It says I have good internet. That's a bummer. Let me know if it's coming through, guys. That's a bummer. Well, I'll continue on. Let me know. Let me know if there's. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It says I have a good internet connection. Is it choppy on everyone's end, or is that just Mr. Probes there? I'll continue on. So there it is, the Yamaha. Yamaha Reface CP. Beautiful. I like the build. It feels good. Feels good. It's plastic, but sturdy plastic. Yeah, this feels nice. I'm not expecting much out of these speakers, both, even at 144p. Huh. I wonder why. That's odd. Well, I apologize for that. Is the stream choppy for you guys as well? It's choppy on both the phone and my TV. Huh. Let me see something. Hang on. Okay. Do me a favor, guys. Hold on just one sec. I'll be right back. Hey, hey, hey. All right, guys. Yeah, it's choppy. What up, Mecha? Destructo. Good to see you, Destructo. Let me know, guys. Think it might be YouTube because everyone is lagging. It's not just my stream. Huh. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better. Thought it might have been the weather here or something, but everything else appears to be fine as far as internet. So, let's see. Let me know if it gets any better or if it's so bad I should just cut it out. I don't want to just be totally choppy here. But yeah, pretty hyped, guys. The Yamaha Reface CP. Gonna have me I'm not like, I know Destructo has a real roads, but couldn't quite get, not to that level yet, dude. So this will have to do me for now. And this thing sounds so good, though. I watched so many different reviews and demos through the years, and people do amazing things with it that I'm hyped. So I finally have some road sounds that aren't just on my computer that are pretty convincing, especially in a mix. I think it, like in a recording and on a mix, I think it'll work out well. So just soldier on. Thanks, Probes. All right, shall do. So yeah, that was cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Not a huge, brand new fancy synth or nothing, but to me it's exciting. I'm hyped. So there is still just a couple things left on my short list of dream items that I've wanted in my studio. I pretty much have completed everything that I want to have. No new gear is really thrilling me, or the idea of it. Now that I have everything that I've picked up over this last year, pretty much just completed the setup. And I've put some stuff away because it was just getting too insane. Starting to feel claustrophobic with just too many synthesizers out. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to do kind of a rotating thing. You know, I'll keep one out for a while in a place and maybe do some tracks, some songs, some jams with that. And then just occasionally, if I want to get some different sounds, I'll bring out another thing and rotate them in. So that's to me a better way to do it than trying to have everything out and hooked up. Is can be mind numbing to do, and it just too many options. It's like too many cooks in the kitchen. It's just it hinders me sometimes from deciding what I want to use. Where if I just have a section, like right now I have the Hydra, the Micro Freak, and the Model Cycles, and I just this afternoon put the Base Station 2 in. That's just going to be a little jam area that I want to do a couple tracks. Been jamming with those quite a bit, and also the Digitone 1 is going to be in there as well. So I'll have my FM in there, which that's what I think. I think I'm going to use the Digitone to do the little demo with the Oliveira. That's what I was using today. And but it also sounds really good with the Micro Freak. So looks like an epic sir. Thank you. It's pretty soon here. I am in the midst of doing a rewire of one section and some other stuff on it. I just got a ton more cables, and I'm using another patch bay and a sub mixer. So I'm redoing some stuff, which is a pain in the ass. But when that's done, I do plan on doing a full studio tour, unveiling the entire new end of the world machine, and just why is that going down? These cameras that follow you are kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot going on in here right now. Now, the main things I use. Some of the stuff just it needed to get put away, because it's like if I'm not using it, it's not stuff I want to get rid of. It's stuff that I will use again, but there's just no need to always have everything all out and hooked up. And I'm never selling anything again for gear. Everything I own at this point is things I plan on keeping. I do have a section over here where I have my ASRX Pro that I'm using, that I don't use that thing every day. A lot of times I just use it for processing. I run signals through it. I just like the way things sound out of it. I like the converters on it. I like what they do to sound. So I run the MPC through that with the SP404 MK2, my MPC XSE. And then I have the Tascam 424 that all that's coming into, which I love that mixer. And that's great for test equipment, because you can run really, really hot signals through it. And I like recording to tape sometimes. I've been getting back into tape looping. I set up a station for some cassette tape loops with a couple of my tape players and 8-track recorders. And I want to do some stuff where I record my synths and actually record my own 8-track. And by 8-track, I mean old school 8-track tapes, not reel-to-reel 8-track. The reel-to-reels are not set up for loops at the moment, although they might be soon. That's going to be a whole nother thing to work on, configuring the reel-to-reels. But the 8-track loops, it'd be cool to record some stuff onto an 8-track tape, or I like just putting stuff sometimes onto 8-track tape, and not even as a tape loop, and then just using that recording and then playing that through like a preamp or something back into the DAW. I just like the crunchiness it gives to drums, and like the harsh. It gives a warm, nice sound sometimes, depending, not always. It's kind of I don't want to say it's Russian roulette, but it's fun to experiment with, and I enjoy it. And tape, just using the the format of using cassette tapes and old 8-track tapes, the nostalgia of it for me, and just the sound you can get out of it can be very useful for some things still. Not everything. Obviously there's times I want a really crisp, clean signal on audio, but sometimes I like to really muddy, dirty stuff up, and I don't like to use anymore now I'm just got away from using plugins for that and stuff because I can tell a difference to my ear, and I don't care if anybody else notices. To my ear, I like the pleasing, warm, rich ugliness of tape. And 8-track is a format that not a lot of people use or experiment with, old school 8-track tapes, but I think it's fun, and I enjoy it. Making the loops on it is super cool because you can switch between the loops, between the 4 different, on 8 tracks you have 4 different tracks that you can switch between. So it's just something fun. So I set up a little tape station. I'll make some more videos on that. It's been a few years at least since I've done any videos with tape stuff, and I don't know, just been getting back into that, just trying to it gives me inspiration to just do new things, and I need that right now. So let's see. Hey, Electronic Composer, what up? Thank you for joining in, sir. Cameras that follow you are controlled by the CIA. Yeah, here. I wouldn't be surprised. They want to know. They want to know what's in this studio. They're like, what kind of equipment? There's equipment I have in here from old military bases, and like I have stuff that was from NASA, and it's cool. That's what I loved about the old test equipment, when it has like old labels on it and stuff. And when you do research on, I'll do research on certain pieces of gear and what they were used for, and a lot of the stuff was used in like nuclear testing. Just or for like test sites for like all kinds of things. So yeah. Anyhow, send gentle saturation. Yes, tape has the best sound. Send your audio through an old 80s audio amplifier. Hell yeah, gives it a nice sound for sure. Yeah, I've got a few old type. I've actually bought a lot of old amps, a lot of old, or not bought, but just collected through the years. I've got like a lot of old preamps and microphone preamps and stuff, like Radio Shack ones and shit that are, cheap and not worth much, but they're really nice to send signals through, and then put that through like a old guitar amp, and then mic that, and then run it into something. And people always complain about like all these new samplers and things that you can't get the crunch and the old school flavor of some of them, and they're right, you can't naturally, but there's all kinds of methods you can do to get really lo-fi, crunchy, nasty, dirty sounds from things that if you're willing to experiment and have fun, and you should be like hooking things up in the bathroom and miking them and using contact mics off of stuff and doing, I encourage people to really step outside of the box, not just the literal box of the computer and all your plugins, but just experiment a little bit with analog old sound. And you don't have to spend a ton of money and buy like really expensive stuff. You can get like some cheap gear, old used cheap mixers, old preamps, old all tape machines, all kinds of things, and even mics, small little mics that you go to like recorders or like answering machine mics. All these things, if you experiment with them and find different ways of using them, you can really find some cool stuff to do that you might be surprised on some of the effects that'll give you compared to just always using a plugin. Now I understand it's easier, it's much more convenient to just be in the box, use a plugin, but if you're going to be in your studio and you're spending time making sounds, crafting stuff, I just encourage everyone at least a little bit to just get like one piece of gear like that, spend $60, or $40 on eBay for something, or at a pawn shop, or some old cheap, even like cheap rack mount gear, those old cheap compressors, preamps, old effects units from like the 80s and stuff, the ones that like nobody wants and sells. You can do really fun and cool stuff with a lot of that. There's a guy who's got a channel, Mario DeSanti, I think is his name, And I love watching that guy's videos sometimes. He does like garage style, and he uses all just like old gear and promotes the same type of stuff of like experiment. He's the one of the reasons I watched one of his videos. I was like, you know what, I need to break out my tape machine and start doing some stuff. And gave not the same things he was doing, but it just gave me, I was like, you know what, I used to really do a lot of that, like especially like during the pandemic. When I had a lot of free time being home, I just like went ham, experimenting and getting. That's when I built the end of the world machine, my modular analog monstrosity of a test equipment synthesizer. That will be. I am using that again, and I'm going to be doing a lot with that as well. But yeah, let's see. I have a reel-to-reel cassette and Walkman for audio manipulation. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Electronic composer for sure, man. Yeah. Even like old Walkmans, like, yeah, you can do so much. It's fun just to, use for, and like I said, not for everything and every situation, but just experiment with people. A lot of people think that like when people say analog, that it means like you have to like buy some expensive old synthesizers or something, and that's couldn't be farther from the truth. You can experiment and have fun in the analog realm very, very cheaply, and with gear that will, like I said, that might be super cheap and seem like it would be nothing, but then when you use it in combination with other things and your digital things and stuff, can be very, very useful. So let's see, just an old Japanese. Oh, Radio Shack was the best place. Realistic had some decent products. Hell yeah, I've got quite a bit of Realistic crap that a lot of it I inherited from like family and like different hand-me-downs from friends, stuff. Thrift stores and stuff from back in the day that I'd get it for like, stuff for like $2. Like I said, I don't use all of it all the time, but some of it I have on things, and they're fun to experiment. Just an old Japanese 80s hi-fi amp will do the trick. Hell yeah, for sure, Probes. Hans Volt, what up, sir? Good to see you. Talk about where I was talking about the GR Mega earlier. Talk about a dude who's making real use of that. If you guys don't follow Hans Volt, I'm sure most of you guys do, but if anybody watching doesn't, go and check out his channel. Does some really, really cool jams that are epic, and highly, highly recommend. One of my favorite channels to frequent when I can catch his live jams and streams. Always a pleasure. So shout out Hans Volt. Let's see, we got get some small recording gear and take long walks and get field recordings. Yes. You know what? I want to do more of that. More field recording. It's during this time of the year here for the weather. I mean, I'll go out sometimes and get stuff in the snow, but I like to take both my field recorder, my modern one, and like a mini cassette recorder. I got that idea from the Daydream Sound. I don't know if you guys follow the Daydream Sound. He's a sampling guru. Really fantastic channel. But I saw him in a video, because I'd always take one or the other. I'd record, but taking both and getting the same sample from a mini cassette recorder, like old school style, and then getting one from like a new field recorder, and then taking both those and dropping them into your DAW, and then using like, both signals like blended together and stuff, can get really, really cool results. That's a really, really fun way to do stuff, and I'm all about making my own samples. I've never once purchased like a sample pack or a sample bank or pre-made loops or anything. I mean, way back in the day when you used to get like free CDs of like loops and with like keyboard magazines and stuff like that. I mean, I had some of those that sort of used a few times, but never in any of my songs, just maybe for jamming. But in the last like 20 years, I haven't. I just it's so much more fun to make your own sounds, you know. And I put up a short today of using contact mics. I brought a cheap ass snare drum, like a $40 used old snare drum, put that on the desk with a contact mic on it, and then have my old dulcimer, my vintage. I got a antique Italian dulcimer like years and years ago from like a thrift store for like $10, and the thing's from like the 40s or something. I've looked it up since, the company that made them and stuff. But that with a contact mic, and then run that through a bunch of guitar effect pedals, and just like I was just dropping a ball on the snare drum and getting like weird kick and snare kind of sounds with that, and then like using brushes, like not drumsticks but brushes, and doing stuff with that. Just stuff that I dropped into the Tonewerk and the GR Mega to use for samples, to then do granular madness on, and all kinds of crazy stuff on the Tonewerk, which those two together in combination, like I said, these are my weapons of choice going forward for this year. For finishing this album, is everything's going to be Tonewerk and GR Mega with the instrument. And there'll be a lot of videos and stuff upcoming with those. I'm using the Octatrack with that now as a performance mixer. So those two are going into the Octatrack. And I mean, it's so much power and so much capability that I'm really taking my time to get like good with it, familiar with it, because there's so much you can do. Each one of the machines by themselves can do an insane amount, and you put those together with a freaking Octatrack, and it's like, I mean, it's literally like a level of power that I never dreamed of musically ever in my existence. It's serious next level shit to be able to do. Tone Smith, what's good, dude? Thanks for jumping in, man. Aw, shucks, thanks, buddy. Hell yeah, Hans, dude. I mean it. I totally mean it. You should do a live one day. You should do a live, dude. You should. I've noticed when you're doing it, I was like, how's he talking in the chat right now? It's like, but yeah, I mean, it's cool to do it either way. Filming the video and doing it that's a live. You do lives, but I never use loops. Yeah. I mean, I make my own loops, probes, but I'll usually end up just chopping them up after I make them, you know. Program your own patches. That's what's up. Yeah, I have a video that I made and I never posted of making a patch from scratch on the Third Wave 8M that I need to finish editing. And because that thing is really fun to make patches on from scratch. You just reminded me of that. Maybe I'll try and edit. Time. What was that song of Samurai's? Time is I forget, but it's basically like time is my enemy. It's time is which, by the way, Tone, you guys, awesome episode with Mr. Sammy Samurai for 30 year. I finally got to watch that whole thing, and excellent stuff. Sammy, if you're out there, to me you are a musician. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I think no matter how you make your music, man, whether it's premeditated, whether it's spontaneous inspiration, whether, you know, same thing for Crazy Wabbit. Those guys are like, we're not musicians, and it's like, yeah, you guys are, you know, like, what are you talking about? To me, you are. So, you know, take that how you will. But let's see. I've grabbed some good drum sample packs, only one shots and whatnot. Yeah, Tone, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not putting it down at all. I mean, I've used, you could say that just like a kick drum on some drum machines I've used were just preset drum kicks in there. That's basically a sound pack too, you know. There's nothing wrong with using sound packs. I just like to encourage people, it's a lot of fun to make your own samples, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. And I just think it's some people just like feel like it would be too hard or something, I think, or it's like, you know, you have to be some kind of sound design expert or something to do it. And I'm not talking about you. I mean, I've seen in the community people express this type of sentiment, and it just makes me think that, well, you guys, you can do it with all different methods. There's all different ways. And that's what I was just talking about, like, the analog thing, getting like cheap old analog gear to experiment with for all different purposes. I highly encourage. I think first of all, it's a ton of fun. It's super cool when you get something out of it that you do record and you can use as your own sample, chop up, or have as one shots and stuff. And this misconception that getting an analog means you have to buy like some vintage $4,000 synthesizer is just not true, or what I'm talking about at all when I speak about it. And just getting any old tape machine, like Electronic Composer was talking about, an old Walkman, a cheap little guitar amp, a little practice amp, and a mic, and run a drum machine or some signals through that, and mic that, get some sounds off that. That's a huge way to just get some nice real analog, sound out, and then run that into another separate pedal, and then into like a sampler or something else, and just experiment, try all different things. And cheap ass rack mount gear, compressors and preamps from like the late 80s and 90s and stuff. That I'm talking everything like under $100 or some of it way less. It's just a lot of fun to experiment with, and I'd like to see more people doing that and making their own sounds with stuff like that, instead of relying on a plugin or the lo-fi effect in your SP404 or whatever. Like, actually, like, make the sound lo-fi yourself with microphones and cheap tape and different formats. I'm way into like using 8-track tapes, and that's something I'm going to be doing a lot of experimenting with on this new tape station I set up. But yeah. Nothing wrong with buying sample packs or using loops. I don't. Now, if everybody's using the same thing they got off Splice or whatever, TrackLib, they're using the same sample and they're not doing anything to it much, but, barely chopping it or whatever. Like, I don't know. To me, that's just like really lazy and kind of not impressive or necessarily very creative. But, whatever, as long as people are having fun, that's all that matters. I'm not going to knock anyone for what they do, but I do want to encourage people to branch out and experiment more with like old technology that is maybe considered obsolete, but can be repurposed, used in different ways for audio and stuff, of running your music through to re-record and then use and then chop up and do stuff. It's just fun. Good stuff. Let's see. Trader Living feels good to see you on. Hey, what's up, GearTube? Thanks, man. Thank you. Good to see you. I appreciate you dropping in. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting kind of behind here. Sorry, guys. I'm way behind. I'm just rambling on. Let's see. Let me try and get caught up here, guys. Hell yeah, Tonework fam. Yeah, that's right, Tone. Yeah, the only other people I know with Toneworks, like, really, I mean, I've seen some bigger YouTubers with them, and there's a few people, but you and Machines are like the Tonework crew that I know. I'm cheating on my no YouTube resolution right now. Oh, did you take a no YouTube resolution? Well, I appreciate you cheating for me, sir. Thank you. Hey, TCO. Good to see you. Twin Cities Oxygen in the house. We got Tarot Destroyer. My boyfriend's testicles were bitten off by a camel recently. Should I marry him when he wakes up from his coma, or marry his identical twin brother whose testicles are in pretty good shape? What I'd tell you to do, Tarot, is to take first cut the camel open, take the testicles out, make a necklace out of them, okay? Then put those testicles over the brother's neck to wear, the twin brother that still has the good testicles, and maybe see what happens from there. I don't know. It could be a sign of good luck. Could be considered in some countries a way to honor the lost testicles of your boyfriend. But either way, I think you'll win, because now you'll still have 4 testicles at your disposal, even though 2 are severed. But that's up to you. Just a thought. But I wish you all the best. Thoughts and prayers to you. Thanks for joining in. Samples from kit you don't have is fab. I use drum machine samples and fuck them up. Yeah. I have tons of sample libraries, but I've always preferred found samples and transmissions. Yes. Yeah, same. Same electronic composer. Let's see, 7 years ago, my parents were eaten by pygmy cannibals, and I have never forgotten it. You know, that seems like something you could write a whole album about, Tarot Destroyer. So, yeah. Thanks, dude. He's a fun guy to talk to. Yeah. I keep singing put down your phone and believe in yourself to myself. Is that is that one of Samurai's songs? Is that the one? Depends what you want to do with the testicles. That's right. That's right. The Mega really throws a monkey wrench at your expectations. Yes, it does. Yeah. No, the Mega is, to me, it's the wildest, craziest of everything in here. I mean, as much as I love the Tonewerk, I would, if I had to choose between the two, it would be the GR Mega. I would take over the Tonewerk, honestly. But I do love them together. Sounds come out you don't expect. Exactly. Yeah, very much so. Let's see. Hello, neighbor. For the Kumite, I'm using only Expander and Mega. Nice, Hans. Hell yeah. Look forward to tuning in on that. It's the tunes that count, not the gear. True. But gear, I mean, the gear can count in some ways because if it inspires you, you know, let's see. The gear counts. I think the gear counts too, because some gear's not inspiring and doesn't like bring out. Some gear just brings things out of you. So I agree with you that writing a song or whatnot or releasing something, it is the person's ability, what they make and their vision. But at the same time, for the artist, it's like, does the paintbrush matter? Does the kind of ink or whatever used matter? To the artist, a lot of times it does. And to me, it does at times. So, I can see both ways of thinking, but certain scents just sound gorgeous. Yes. If there's no tune, there's nothing. See, and yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with you that, it doesn't necessarily, like a great artist could make great art with a cheap piece of gear. You know what I mean? I'm not disputing that. But that doesn't mean that artist doesn't want to use something that makes them feel comfortable, something that makes them feel inspired, something that gives them, inspiration. So, I don't know. I like your toque. Your toque? One, I build my studio and I can mic up my vintage Ludwig kit. I'm planning on making samples. Nice, Tone. Hell yeah. You play drums too, Tone? That's one thing I wish I was good at. I got a cheap drum kit for my kid a while back, and we just don't have the space to set it up at the moment. It's stored. Probably I'm gonna set it up in the garage, but it's so damn cold out there. He probably won't want to go play. But I'd like to. It's not a horrible kit. It's not like no Ludwig. But when I hit one note with the Mega, it's so sick. Yes, the GR Mega, I mean, just sounds absolutely amazing. So, but everyone has entitled their opinion. One note doesn't make a tune. Too many synths go for huge sounds that can't be used in a track. I mean, it all depends on what you're going for. If you're just making, there's so many different styles, ranges, techniques. I hear people say things like, like the Hydra synth doesn't sit good in a mix. I've heard people say that the Hydra's great, but it just doesn't sit good in a mix. And I'm like, well, did you mix it? You know what I mean? Like, because I've used Hydra in like a lot of my music, and I was able to, if something's not sitting right, you mix it in to make it sit right, and sometimes you do have to, use something else if it's not working and play it with something else. But yeah, I don't know. That's, my point is a single note from a certain synth, let's see, can really move you. So the sound, the timbre, the tone of the filters. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Hans, actually. But I also get your point, Probes. I don't have that issue. Sidechain compression, multi, yes, it's a magic combo of compression. I agree. If with some skills with compression, with mixing, with engineering of stuff, I think you can get almost any sound to fit into a song. But again, it depends on the music you're making. For some people's art, like it'd be trying to, if you say you're painting a painting and you're trying to use green in it, and it just doesn't work for someone, where someone else might be able to blend that green in and it would work for what they're making. But what everybody makes is different. So I get where you guys are both coming from. Let's see. Gear is fun. Yes, it is. If you can move, you can do it with it. And how does it sit with other sounds? Yeah. Let's see. Torque means your winter hat. Oh, thank you. It's actually Chase Bliss. Boom. I can't do my finger right there. Yeah, I ordered this from Chase Bliss because I just absolutely love Chase Bliss and their pedals. I've never heard that. Is that toque? Is that like a Canadian thing? I've never heard that. Am I even saying it right? I've heard like beanie and different things, but I've had scents that were totally uninspiring. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've had a few that and that doesn't mean someone else might love them too. That's the thing, I've had I'll be honest, I have not been inspired by the Arturia Mini Freak. I think it sounds great. It's amazing. Has insane capabilities. When they added granular to it and stuff, it's super cool. But I love the Micro Freak. The Micro Freak is an absolute staple for me. I love the touch plate. I'm one of those few weirdos that enjoy the capacitive touch plate. I use it for the polyphonic aftertouch to control on the Hydrasynth. And I'm a huge fan of the Micro Freak. Doesn't have any effects or nothing built in. It's mono. It is what it is. But I just adore the thing. I think it's amazing and it's been inspiring to me. But the Mini Freak has never really grabbed me that way, and it's actually gone. My daughter's using it now. I got her the Teenage Engineering KO2, just the regular version of the KO2 for Christmas, because she's getting into music. She's playing a few different instruments in school band and learning piano, and she's actually getting better on piano than me. Like she plays like all kinds of video game songs and stuff. But she wanted something to, make beats on and do stuff. And so I got her the KO2 because that's, just unaffordable, I think a decent starter out type groove box jam machine. But yeah, she's using the Mini Freak because I don't use it to me. And I have the VST because if you buy the Mini Freak, you get the VST with it. And honestly, to my ear, I don't notice a huge difference between the VST and the keyboard and the synth. Other than the analog filter on it, it does have a great filter. It's the same filter, I believe, as the Micro Freak. But for some reason, I'm just way more inspired by the Micro Freak and love it more, which, is maybe odd to a lot of people. And maybe in time, like sometimes I've had synths for a while, or instruments, even guitars and basses and things, drum machines, that at first I didn't like them that much at first. And then in time, after a year or two, they become my favorite one. So you never know. Things are like that. It's like listening to music. I remember, many times of listening to a band that I love. I'd get one of their new albums that come out, and I'd be like, I just don't like this as much. This isn't as good as the other album that I had from them, and I don't really enjoy it. And then later, I end up listening to it again and again, and then it becomes my all-time favorite album of that band. That's happened to me like multiple times with music, so I equate it to kind of the same way. Let's see. I don't play drums well, but I know how to hit them properly. So for sampling, making, I'll get by. Oh, hell yeah. Nice tone. I got the Kawai K3. Yeah, dude, I was bummed when your stream got cut short. I was really enjoying it. The K3 is awesome. Years ago, my bandmate had a K3 years and years ago. And I used to just noodle around on it, and I always thought it had great sounds, seemed cool. I don't know if you saw, I have the Kawai K5000S, the additive. That's one that's kind of taken out of rotation at the moment of the studio, but it's not going anywhere because it's a beast of a additive synthesizer and has some really cool sounds. And I have some of my own patches that I programmed that I have on zip disks that I don't want to lose. I think I'm going to put a lot of that onto the Toneverk, and I think I'm going to auto sample a lot of it into the Quantum, because you can auto sample onto the Quantum, and so I can have all those Kawai patches on the Quantum, because obviously the Quantum's not going to get shuffled out of here like that one is. And the only reason it's mainly is because I got the Muse in the Quantum now. And that thing, some of the buttons, it's old. Some of the buttons you have to hit a few times to get, and it's not fun to program. It's not fun to program additive synthesis that much in general, to me. But on that thing, it's it's a real bitch compared to doing it in like Pigments or something like that. But yeah, congrats on that K3, dude. That was a score. Hell yeah. Like the DeepMind 12, its sound moves me to list it on Reverb. You know what, dude? I've looked at the DeepMind so many times. I thought of it as maybe something that could be like a Juno or something, because I would like to have. I do like the Juno. I thought about getting the JU016 or whatever, the little the Roland. What do they call them? The retro little ones. Because I'm not gonna get the Juno X. Nothing wrong with that thing, but I don't need any full size. I don't have room for any full size keys. And that little JU06 thing actually sounds dope. So, oh yeah, I did a box opening, guys. So, and I got this, Tone knows we were talking about recently, the Yamaha Reface CP, which is, Yamaha Rhodes and Wurlitzer sounds, something I've wanted. And, for me, my daughter, cause practicing piano and stuff, have an electric piano that sounds like an actual real Rhodes. It was on sale, so I scored that. But that's been something that I've wanted for 8-10 years since it came out. But that that Roland Boutique, that's what it is. I want the boutique little Juno thing. I think I might snag one of those for a couple $100 used. But the DeepMind, yeah, I don't blame you. It doesn't seem like, I've heard the keys are kind of garbage on it. So synths need to be explored and work needs to be put in to get useful results. No argument there, Probes. I totally agree. Let's see. Well, just for context, every new synth I get, I spend 3 to 4 months only using that one synth. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's a smart way to do it, Hans. Yeah, you really kind of know for sure. I should do it that way. I mean, sometimes I'll get synths so sporadically through the years that I will do that, like mainly use the same one for like months on end. This last year, I just kind of went a little overboard and got too many all at once. But that is a smart way to do it. So then it's not your sound. So then it's not the sound you favor. No. Cool, Chase Bliss. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a fan of Chase Bliss. I think their pedals are just amazing. I'm a huge fan of them. The K, Took. Okay, the K at the end of okay. Took. I'm gonna say Took. I gotcha. The Maple Syrup Mafia here schooling me on how to pronounce it. Appreciate that, TCO. So it's subjective. It is indeed. Took. Okay, like cook, but took. Interesting, sir. My approach is every night I tweak parameters, all combinations I can muster till I have a general idea of exactly the sounds I will get. That's why I'm in love with Mega. Hard to predict. Yeah, dude. That's the thing about the Mega, right? Is like, see, you're smart spending so much time with it because it's a very deep one. When I got it, I thought I was just gonna I actually had to read the full manual, and get deep with it, dude, to to start, and then I didn't use it for a little bit and came back to it and didn't remember everything. So like your method of sticking with it and just using that solely is like a way better thing to do, because I got the tone verk and then I jumped over to that, started working that. I got the quantum around that same time, which is super deep, and started using that. And I'd got the Muse like a month before that. So I went totally, crazy stupid on getting a bunch of like flagship, but it was like I wanted to fulfill in. These are all my dream things that I wanted. I mean, the tone verk kind of came out of nowhere. That was more of a just buying it out because I was super curious. But the GR Mega was pre-ordered, like for a long ass time. I think it was almost a year wait before I finally got that. So that, and then the Quantum has been one that I've been wanting forever. The Muse I sat for a year before pulling the trigger on. But yeah, so I'd get one in and then I'd jump to the other one, start using that and getting it into sight. When I got back to the GR, it was like, oh shit, how do I do this again? I got to look this up again. You know what I mean? So your method is much more, makes way more sense, dude. And I like that. I think that's what I need to do. That's why I'm just going to have these two here, Tone Verk and GR Mega, and I'm just going to focus those two only. And then of course I'll still have like, I'll use the Muse and Quantum, but I'm going to sample those into the Mega and to the Tone Verk is the plan for these new tracks I want to do. But let's see. But I like that your approach. Tweak the parameters. That's the smartest way, dude. I was just playing with the Mini Freak before I saw your stream. I just got it a month ago. The patches sound awesome. The Mini Freak is super cool. And I'm not trying to say anything negative about it. It's just for whatever reason, I never got the same, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, the Micro Freak was when I started buying newer synths again. That was one of the first ones I got. That and Grandmother were like the two first of newer synthesizers that I'd bought in years. All my other stuff at that point was like from the 90s, and maybe I might have had Mother 32 also at the time. And then I ended up getting, the DFAM Subharmonicon, but the Micro Freak, it's just I don't know what it is. I just had so much fun and did so many jams on it and just know it like the back of my hand. The Mini Freak just felt like, I don't know, it's super badass. It is so powerful, and they keep updating it and making it more and more badass. And it's got that great filter on it, and nothing bad about it. I needed to clear some stuff out, and I needed to make some room, and that was the one that it just wasn't finding a spot in what I was doing at the time. And like I said, a year might go by, 2-3 years, and that might come out and become, a mainstay. That's what happened to me with the Yamaha AN1X. Didn't use that for a long time, and was like, I did it first a bit, and then I got some other synths and some other instruments, and it kind of got put off to the side. And the AN1X is a beautiful, amazing sounding virtual analog, one of the greatest virtual analog synths possibly of all time. You can get literal, real convincing Prophet 5 and sequential type sounds out of it and stuff on a digital synthesizer, a virtual analog. But then all of a sudden one day I broke it out and I started using it, and I started using it on everything, and it became like my main synth to use for a bit there. So you never know. Let's see. Eternian, what up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Congrats on your Iridium. Super stoked for you. We should talk one day, because I've been digging the Quantum. I'd like to pick your brain a little bit about what you think about that Iridium. Let's see. Well, I'm glad I make good music as well. In the end, it's the music that matters. Yes. Hey, I think both of you guys make good music. I like Probe's jams and I love Han's jams. So I think you guys both amazing. You had a K3? Nice. Yeah, they were the jam for a while. Well, I'm way behind. Okay, sorry guys. Let me try and quickly catch up here. K5000S, damn, I hear that is parameter heavy, like 100,000 parameter. Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's not a pleasure to make patches on, but when you do come up with something, it's absolutely mind-boggling what you can do on that thing. I should really break it out and do like a deep dive into it, but it's frustrating because the old buttons, like, you have to hit them sometimes 3-4 times to work. So that's what makes it even like, and there are kits I saw that I could buy and do like a whole restoration, but it's like a giant thing. I would love to do that, but let's see, gotta run, doing sound tomorrow morning and need some sleep. Hey, take care, Tone. I appreciate you dropping by, dude. Always a pleasure. Let's see, K5000 needs to be, yes, a VSTD. Yes, I'd love to see that as a VST. Yep. Do you miss your K3? Several Korg rack mounts from back in the day. Nice. Hans, you got a K5000S? Nice. What do you think of it, dude? Do you use it? I've never seen you use that one. It's a unique synthesizer, man. That's why it stayed when some other stuff left. Is because it's like a lot of times with the additive, I get a lot of like, a lot of bell sounds and stuff, but you can get some insanely lush pads on it. That's why I want to sample it into the Mega and the Toneverg, take all my favorite patches and stuff out of it. That's awesome, Hans. I had no idea. You should break that out sometime. I mean, I know you're focusing on, dude, you got an expander, an Oberheim expander. I mean, my God, how long have you had that? A long time, or was that like something you bought? Like, I know you have like an insane amount of crazy, like your Russian synths and stuff, and you got a lot. But I'm just curious how long you've had that expander. I know you just got it recently repaired, if I'm not wrong. I think you said you repaired it yourself. It wasn't working for a bit. I like it very much, but I don't miss it. Oh, the K3, yeah. What fills that void the K3 left? Kraftwerk used the K5000. Took. Yeah, it's cold out there. I don't often wear these. I only wear these on my day off, so I always have to wear like a hard hat or a ball cap at work and stuff. George G's pop in here. What up, George G's, the man, the myth, my fellow Sparky brother. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. George G's is always showing support to everyone, man. That's so cool, dude. You're the man, George. What scores have you gotten lately, George? Did you get like a mini Moog for like $300 or something like that? George G's always has like the most insane stories of deals of stuff for sale. You pick anything up for the holidays, George? Did you get anything, added anything to the studio? No, to like you to wait, what? Not to like you to, oh, took. Wait, let me, damn Americans. Okay, took. Okay, so like the Tooks from The Hobbit, like, sorry, dude, damn Americans. My studio changed around. Let's see. I got the GR1 at Kickstarter, so I kind of had such. Yeah. You already had a foundation in the Tasty Chips universe there. Yeah, you did. I was always watching your GR1 jams. That's I remember going, this dude has to get the Mega. Like it was like literally made for you. It's good to see you, Mr. G's. The GR Mega is ridiculous. Hans Volt kills it. He really does, dude. You getting it? You gonna get a GR Mega, George? Hell yeah. Yes. Join the club. Let's see. Oop. We got I was gonna talk about NAMM, guys. So and then probably wrap it up here after that. So NAMM. The big musical, was it North American Music Manufacturers, right? That's what been going on for, 40, 50, 60 years? I don't even know how many years. I know since the 60s at least, right? Probably before. As always, it was always like one of the biggest events in our space, right? It was where the new gear came out. It's where we saw the new cool new stuff, NAMM, right? Well, that's not the case anymore. And not only is that not the case, but it hasn't been the case for a little while now, to be honest. I want to say the glory days of NAMM and in our space of electronic music, at least, the new gear coming out that's exciting, special, almost nothing gets released at NAMM for the last 5 years. Go back and look and see like what actually. Now, yes, Behringer was there last year, and they had those models of the BX1, and I forget what the other one was, the Jupiter or whatever. I forget. And the one was playing. And maybe Behringer last year was the exception on actually releasing something. Maybe Akai possibly might drop their MPCX. We'll see. Now, will nothing be released? I'm not saying nothing comes out, but compared to how it used to be back in the day, like it used to be like the exciting, all the gear drops, like the big stuff was released at NAMM. Not all of it, but a lot. Like you would have like a ton of stuff. That's shifted. Now they have Buchla and Friends. That's coincides, I'm sure on purpose, the same weekend, right? That's the way more exciting one for what we're into of synthesizers or modular or drum machines, electronic music. Let's see. That's where you're going to see anything. And even then, I haven't seen like a lot of like big drops of new products there. Where we're seeing all the big innovations and drops from the companies that we're into, the Electrons, the Arturias, the Tasty Chips, go down the line of even Sequential and I think Moog, even big names is Superbooth. That's where this space of innovation and dropping has kind of evolved, or what's the word I want? Like has that's where it's at now. Superbooth is where we see all of the stuff that used to be like NAMM. NAMM now is kind of just now. It could go back. I could see possibly, but it seems like people just don't give a shit, manufacturers, as much about NAMM as they used to. It's just, and it hasn't been for a while. I want to say since even probably right before, the crazy year of 2020. But since then, especially every year's like, what do you think's going to happen at NAMM? This is going to happen. Akai's going to drop the new MPC. This is going to happen. And every year it's like nothing. NAMM is just, people are there, and it's the products that they've come out with over that year. Like you'll see the newest products. Like we might see if Electron's there at all, maybe, but they'll be. Hang on, I think my mic was a little hot there. Even companies like Electron, Arturia, and stuff, they're going to be at Buchla and Friends. I would be surprised they even have a booth at NAMM, because from what I understand, it's extremely expensive to get a booth at NAMM. Now, the regular music space of the guitar world and things, you'll still have a lot of companies there that are releasing things. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are things, Kurzweil and companies that, what I mean, you might still see some new products, but it's just not the exciting, amazing thing that it was. Yes, Superbooth is the one. That's where it all goes down. And I feel like a lot of people still put, because Sonic State, Nick Batt's not even going to NAMM this year. And he said he's gone every year since, other than the pandemic year, he's gone every year since I forgot what he said, the 90s or something. If Sonic State's not even going to be there to cover it, and Nick Batt won't be there, and they're definitely not going to miss Superbooth. I guarantee that. That should be, a sign to everybody right there that because they are the quintessential people that Nick's been covering this stuff for since forever. the fact that they're not even going to go and he's not even going to, be there. Now, they might have some representative here from America that's affiliated with Sonic State that sends them some videos, but it's not going to be that kind of coverage that we're used to of, like, if you're like me and most of us, we watch all those Sonic State videos on all the new products, checking out what all the new shit is every year. And yeah, I just don't think that tells you it's probably just not worth their time, and it's such a headache, I'm sure, to go to LA. I hate LA. God, I was born there, and the few times I've been back as an adult since, I can't get out of there quick enough. I just absolutely fucking hate Los Angeles. Anyway, nothing against anybody who lives there, but I can't get out of there fast enough. The traffic, the hot pastrami everywhere. It's a nightmare to me. I thought about going, and I really considered going to NAMM this year. And I'm not saying I never would. And I'm hoping I'm wrong, and there will be a lot of stuff released. I really do hope that I'm wrong on this. But if the last 5 years are anything to go by, then I'm going to say that then I'm probably not off. Now, Buchla and Friends, if I was going to go, I'd be more interested in going to the Buchla and Friends event than I would be going to NAMM. So anyway, having said all that, my predictions on products that might be coming out. I do 100% believe there's a new hardware product coming out from Arturia. I'm not going to say where or how, but I have a little birdie has chirped in my ear that there is a new hardware product coming from Arturia. Will it be released over the NAMM weekend or week, or at Buchla and Friends? I don't know. I can't say, but I am almost positive. What it's going to be, I have no idea. Is it going to be a new flagship? Is it finally going to be the Super Freak or Mega Freak, or is it going to be like something totally different? Maybe, it's Arturia. They could drop anything. Drum machines, could be a synth, could be lots of things. You never know. I'm a fan of Arturia. I think they're one of the better companies in this space. I've had really good, excellent dealings with them and their customer service throughout the years. I own a shit ton of their products, both in VSTs and plugins as well as hardware. Big fan of Arturia and what they do. So it's always exciting when they are going to drop a new product. So yeah, let me read a couple of your comics. So that's my big prediction. Do you guys have any thoughts or predictions that you guys think of what we might see? I would also really, really love to see something besides the Dio-Synth from ASM. And I say this every year now since I bought the Hydra-Synth and discovered ASM years ago. I've been, really, really wanting to see a new product from them, as I think everybody has, because they're such a cool company also. And I like smaller companies, and I just have respect for what they've done there and for Glenn Darcy and everything. I'm hoping they bring something out other than because they usually go to NAMM every year, and then it's the Hydra-Synth every year. And this year it's a Dukes of Hazzard orange one. This year it's the deluxe, 2 Hydra-Synths in one, but it's just the Hydra over and over and over again. And I love those guys. And Ken Flux Pierce is awesome that works there. And I really, really hope that there's something on the horizon from them. Would be one of the people that I would. It's been long enough, guys. Come on, give us something besides the flute or the clarinet or whatever it is. Come on. But my prediction is definitely Arturia. So let me read what you guys are saying. I'm wondering if Moog might have something. It's been a minute since what was the last Moog to come out? Was it the Muse or the Labyrinth? I think, didn't the Labyrinth come out before the Muse? Because we had Spectravox, and then the Muse, then the Labyrinth. I forget. But it's been a good year since I think anything came out from Moog, so we might see something from them as well. So let's see. NAMM, a big old MPC. Yeah, the MPC. What is it called? The X, the one that's been leaked. Let's see. BX1 and new Yamaha. You think so, Probes? You think they're actually going to put them out? When it's Behringer, I just see that's another thing about Behringer is when they release a product, they'll release it, they'll put out a video, but then you can't buy it still for like 5-6 months every time. So, when they're in stock, when I see them in stock at Sweetwater, then I'll be like, okay, it's out. To me, it's not out until you can buy it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I heard a rumor that Pioneer Alpha Theta are going to do a SP16 Mark II or something similar announced this NAMM. Interesting. If so, I'll be super interested. If not, insta buy. Huh? Yeah, I would like to see that. Huh? That would be cool, dude. You're the one pushing me to get it on your videos. The Mega, yeah. Hans is the Mega King, dude. Every studio should have one. I don't disagree. It's a forever staple in my studio. Proper release of the BX1. I mean, I would like to see that, Probes. Here's the thing, my thoughts on the BX1, and I mentioned this earlier on the SOR stream in the chat, that a lot of people who are super hyped on the BX1, that have never programmed a DX7 or the TX, those old Yamaha FMs are just freaking hell and lame as shit to me to program, and it's going to be a rude awakening if they're making it just like that, because the original was at the DX1, that was 2 DX7s in one is what it was, right, basically. And from what I've understood, like programming your patches and stuff on there. Now, all the presets and stuff, people are excited about the DX7 presets being in it. It's like, I don't get that. To me, like, I mean, you can get all the DX7 presets in that Volca FM, like, and they're identical. And I have no interest whatsoever in using 80s DX7 patches in any of my music nowadays. No offense to anyone who does. If you want to make retro sounding stuff with those old things, I'm not knocking it, but for me, it just seems whack. Like, why would... Now, programming new sounds, I'm not saying you couldn't program new patches and crazy stuff on this BX1, but if they made it with the same exact format to the original, I mean, it's like, come on, guys. I love that they're doing it. I think it's brilliant, but give us like a nice modern screen and like modern capabilities to program without the same menu diving and yeah, like, if it's like that, I'm not going to get it. And no offense to anyone who does. And, I know the DX7 Absolute Classic, and I'm not knocking it. Just for me, I had a DXM for a while. Programming that thing just to me was just straight up torture. Like, I do not want, with the FM capabilities now, like what I have in the Quantum and the ease of programming around the Digitone and stuff, like, yeah, like I'll never return to that archaic way of making a patch. Like, that's just me. But I think it's cool. I am interested in it. I want to see everything about it when the final product's released. I'm hoping it's got a little better screen and they've made somewhat improvements in the ability to program, but NAMM is not what it used to be, that's for sure. Though I'd like them to release their Buchla clone. Oh, the Buchla. You mean Behringer? I'd love if they'd release. They teased years ago what is the easel station? The station, the Buchla. What are they called? The music easel? Oh, I'd buy one of those in a heartbeat if they released one of those for like $300 or $400, and it was yeah, that'd be a just absolute no brainer. That's been something I've wanted for ever since I first discovered like modular synthesis. Yeah, all the banger synths are shown off at Super Booth. Yeah, for sure, George. And I'm hoping that might change. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but. Morning, Davy. What up? Davy the Hug Monster is here. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Super Booth is the one, for sure. Let's see. Appreciate you joining in, Davy. Come on, reverse engineer some of that so we can talk to the animals with our sense or something. Yeah. No, or releases a whole suite of products. No one releases a whole suite of products these days. Yeah, it kind of seems that way, huh? What about a Moog 360-degree circular synth like for the fat blue elephant in Return of the Jedi? Yes, yes. I'd be into that. Let's see what else you guys saying for predictions or anything. The Messenger. That's right, George. Thank you. The Messenger came out, and that was, how long ago was that? That's been a minute, right? It's been at least like 8 months. Yeah, I forgot. Maybe even not even that long. Let's see. Nick was also worried about risking travel to the U.S. and being denied. Yeah, with everything going on. ASM drum machine would be sick, George. Yeah, that would be super dope, and I could see that. I could totally see that. Good night, TCO. Thanks for jumping in. Got church in the morning. Right on, man. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Let's see. I'm not interested in acquiring any more gear anytime soon unless your Behringer releases the VCS3. I'm with you, Electronic Composer. There's I did get this. I had no plans to get any gear, but I've wanted this forever. I wanted to have some Rhodes sounds, and it's something that my daughter can use as well. So it was kind of like this is something I always planned to get, and every time I went to buy it, it's the Yamaha, you saw, I'm sure, the Reface CP, which has extremely realistic Rhodes sounds, which for me, like, I've always wanted. It's something I don't have in my studio. So that was like always going to happen, kind of, basically, if I ever, and I finally saw it available and on sale. But other than that, there's no gear. Like I said, if I come across a really cheap Roland Boutique, Juno, JU, whatever it is, I might grab one of those. Other than that, there's literally nothing. Something would have to be like so damn exciting to come in here, because to come in here, I'm going to have to make room at this point. There's no space left. You know what I mean? Like, even in the other studio area, like, I can't, I just can't. I can't, I can't. And, I'm going to be, going to have to kick the kids out of their rooms, make that the third studio. Let's see. I think they'll announce the reason when you can get it. When you can get it's another question. Yeah. Okay. So, well, they announced it last year, didn't they? Oh, you mean like that they're actually like production? I see what you're saying. Yeah. Most people will not be able to program the BX1. No. And people are going to be really shocked that have never tried to program on that, are going to be they're going to be literally like, what? And like scratching their heads. Like, now, supposedly, I'm sure there'll be like an editor for it, a video, VST, some software editor or whatever for it. But as any of us know who have tried any of the Behringer Benga software editors or any of their software, it's not their strong point. So I don't have a lot of faith in that. Let's see, dude. I'm totally with you on the 80s sounds, right, Hans? Yeah, and I don't fault anybody or hate on it, but I'm sick of the 80s sounds. Me too, dude. I don't want that shit in my music. I've already, been down that road, and it's just, I'm not interested in it. For me, that's why I didn't get the Lindrum and stuff. Or a lot of these, I like the ARP 2600 I have. I like the vocoder VC340. Those were things that were useful in different ways because I can repurpose them. They don't have presets from the 80s. Same with the Cobalt Expander. But things like, like DX7s, especially 80 sounds, don't appeal to me. Those were in like all of the music that just got like drilled into our heads on the radio growing up. But I could see it if you could program it and make like totally original cool patches, because it's a super powerful FM with those CS80 filters. It could be cool, but yeah, no 80s presets for me anymore. Let's see, maybe the MPC will get the desired final update. Yeah, funny one, Tactical. Yeah, that'll be the day. Yeah, that is sick. Yamaha did kill it with those little synths, right, George? They did. And I'm hyped on this one, dude. I'm hyped. I've always wanted to have some Rhodes sounds away from. I have them on like VST and stuff, VSTD. Like at the, but just being able to take it and like, I can hook MIDI it to the Muse or to the Quantum and play it with full keyboard and have myself a Rhodes. Because I've been practicing piano and sometimes I like a little. I love the sound of a Rhodes and electric piano. Think that most update sounds are achieved by sample mangling. Do not sleep on Roland's Boutiques. I got lucky enough the JP08 JXT to sound big. Yeah, George, dude. You're not. A few people that I really trust have told me that lately about the Boutiques. And the Juno one, I'll have to look into the JP08. That's the Jupiter 8, right? Like, and the JX03, they sound huge from what, yeah. I want that Juno one, the JU, and I've seen them a few times on Reverb and shit for pretty fucking cheap, So that's something I could see adding because it's a small enough footprint that I could just use it as a module to. I don't know, do they rack mount, George? It'd be nice if they 19-inch rack mount because I have a little space over here that it would fit in nicely. Anyone seen the interview on the Field Tone instruments? Who makes the Weaver and Box of Uncertainty? He's got another machine coming soon and another weird one down the pipe. I haven't, GearTube. I'm not familiar with those at all. Not sure. I'll have to look into that. Field Tone Instruments. The Weaver and the Box of Uncertainty. No. One thing I am going to be getting, and I don't think many of you here have I don't know if any of you have what's the name of the company? Let me look at it real quick. Linstrument. Crazy Wabbit got one, I saw, which is awesome. But there's a company called, I always forget their name, Sound Workshop. And they do some cool stuff, but they do these crazy surfaces for the Linstrument. So like, I'll leave it plugged in. So like the you have these little dots on it, like these little things you can feel for Braille for blind people to play it, but they have this new bumpy surface and they make a black one. And I don't know, I saw it and I saw somebody playing on it and it looked super sick, the Linstrument with black. Although I do like the white matching my white GR Mega. But I just want to get it to try different service because people are saying I have to look at the Linstrument for me to play it. I can't look away so much and feel like if I'm playing my bass or my guitar or even like a keyboard or something, I can look away somewhat, But on the Instrument, I've always struggled with being able to like look at other things as I play it. And this surface with it's like got these little bumps. They say that you can feel your way around. And as a bass guitar player, like it's the Instrument set up like a bass guitar, so like having those to feel on would be So I'm pretty hyped on that. Let's see. Instrument is cool. Yes, I love the Instrument. It is my favorite controller. Got all the controls. So let's see. Weavers, but I still love. You still love the 80s patches? Hey, nothing wrong with that, Electronic Composer. There are some good ones, but when it comes to like DX7 and stuff, I just don't want it. And the music I'm making now, it just doesn't sound right or have a place. Behringer software and support is shite also, alas. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Whoops. I wouldn't go to Behringer for software solutions. Definitely not. When I use the expander, you would be hard-pressed to ever hear it sounding 80s. Yes. And see, I think there's 80s synthesizers and 80s patches, preset patches are two different things. You know what I mean? You can make amazing sounds still on probably almost any. I'd gamble almost any 80s synthesizer with like a decent engine in it and capabilities that didn't sound 80s. But like those typical people are excited, like I want those DX7 patches, and I was just like, really? Like you can get those on ton of modern synths and in software. Like if that's like a selling point, I mean, I would, to each their own. Just for me, I'm not really excited about that. Certain 80s patches, yeah, and I do like certain ones, Electronic Composer, Oberheim ones, sequential things like that. There's patches that I like, but when it comes to like when you get into that FM DX7 Yamaha era of every single cheesy band using those presets and stuff, like I don't know, and just a lot of the other 80s sounds that just I don't know. I've used a lot of them before when I was younger, and I moved on from that. Got all the consoles, controls, sounds legit. That's cool. Oh, let's see. The Cobalt expander, yes, tactical. You liking it? It's wild. It's crazy. I need to do more with that. I should. You know what? Maybe I'll do that because when I was gonna do the video, maybe I'll bust that out for the with the Oliveira. That'd be a good one because I was using the Microfreak and then it was messing with the Digitone. But I think I was gonna go live maybe tomorrow and do a little Strymon Oliveira thing, the oil can reverb. I'm really digging it. But like that, I think that might be a good one to use for it because you start patching the patch cables on the Cobalt, it just gets nuts, just insane. It's the most unruly, wild sounding synth I have in here, I want to say. I mean, it's maybe next to the Voltage Lab too. But yeah, Cobalt all day. I think Cobalt is the best synth that Behringer has. Banga has released, in my opinion. And I do love the 2600. And I keep this thing right here because I absolutely love the strings on it and the vocoder on the VC 340. That stays on its own stand right here because I use it often. But yeah, the Cobalt, everybody sleeps on it, I feel like. Everybody's always talking about how great the Neutron is and now the Proton and the Model D and the, what's the other one? The Pro 1. People all rave about that one too. But dude, I swear to God, for the price, the Cobalt expander, Hans, I think, would do the Cobalt extreme justice. To me, that's actually right up Hans Volt's alley because it's that type of aggressive, mean, gnarly scent that you could just like get like. I mean, it's wild. So we need to. Well, let's all pitch in and get Hans a Cobalt. That wouldn't cost that much. I just want to hear him jam on it. See, anyone using the usual suspect Virus TI probes? I've always wanted a Virus, and that's another one that I've considered getting. It's hard to justify now though, having a Hydrasynth and a Quantum. Together, those two cover a lot of the territory that I think the Virus does. But I would love if I could find a good deal on like a desktop Virus TI. If it was a good enough deal, I would probably pull. That would be probably one of the only digital synthesizers that's, VA. That'd probably be one of the only ones I would add at this point. I would rather probably get a Virus than I would any of the new synthesizers coming out or anything like that. Do you have one, Probes? I love it. I've always loved the Virus. I've wanted one for a long time. It's weird that I don't have one, honestly. And some of my friends literally give me shit about it that have them. They're always like, I'll be like, dude, check this out. I got this new thing. We'll talk about like some new synth I got. And there's like, and you still don't have a Virus? Like when I got the Third Wave, like they're like, that's cool, but you got that and you don't have a Virus? Like, yeah. Anyway, let's see. One day, right? Electronic Composer knows. Someday we'll have Viruses. Oh my God, look into the Weaver, man. Knowing you love it. Takes 2-second sample, and then you tweak a knob to get a new randomized, mangled, beautiful sound. Oh man, I'll definitely have to check it out. I will definitely look into that. Let's see, the expander is super cool. Yeah, dude, an expander, that's like a dream synth right there. Get it? Bro 1 is great. I've heard that. Everybody says, okay, so Trader used the CV playground on the MPC to send more LFOs to the Cobalt, and man, that's crazy. Very, very, yeah, I hadn't thought of that, dude. I've used it, I have it under my ARP 2600, so I've been using it with that, which has been fun, but I've mostly just been sampling it. Taking that, like I'll record that and then sample that because like I said, I'm using samplers, 2 samplers, the Toneverk and the GR Mega is my main thing right now. So it's like I'm just playing things and then everything sampled in and using that. But I should try and patch it with other things. I've never, you know what? I've barely utilized the CVs on the MPC. I should try that. Hansville says, really? I heard things about it, but I never saw a video. I'll do a video, dude, so you can see all the, because, yeah, dude, I really think the Cobalt, when I got the Cobalt, I started jamming on it. I thought of you. I was like, this is like a set that Hansville would like really, make the best of. Yeah, Virus is, it's kind of crazy that like it's been out so long and it's still heralded as like one of the greatest. Always wanted to make a Virus album produced with the Virus. What's up, Viral Beats? You should, dude. That would yeah, you'd have that makes a lot of sense. The Virus. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well, man. I appreciate you dropping in. The Virus TI. Back in the day when they were new, I was choosing between a Virus or Nord 2X Rack. Chose the Nord. I could see that back in the day, though. I mean, you didn't know. But nobody knew like the Virus would be like this legendary kind of timeless synth at the time. And a Nord, I mean, the Nord 2X Rack, I mean, that's, you couldn't go wrong. I'm sure it did you good for then. But yeah, in the long run, that Virus, you probably would have gotten a lot more mileage out of, I would think. All right, guys. Well, I have been on for a long-ass time. I'm going to go. What time is it? Almost 10 o'clock here. I'm going to go. Kids were watching Ace Ventura Pet Detective when I came on the stream, and I'm sure that movie's over. So going to go check on them, and I'm going to do my best to pop on tomorrow and do something with the Oliveira. And then, you know what? Maybe I'll use the new reface. I got the reface. I'm going to be plugging this in after I get off and showing it. Me and my daughter are going to check it out. I'm going to take it out there and into the other little studio area by the organ and plug it in and have a little go on that. But I appreciate you guys all for kicking it and hanging out. Kind of missed this. I haven't felt very social or been wanting to get on. It's been a tough month lately through the holidays and had some, like I said, some sad things happen. Some people I care about, and just had me not really wanting to be on. But I'm glad to see all you guys. Such an awesome community we have here. Mad respect for all of you. Really appreciate you guys for always being around, and do my best to always jump in when I can on anybody's stuff. But yep. Remember, PMA all day, every day. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.